Do something a little bit different today for you on Kicking in the Neighborhood with our drill of the week. Going to talk a little bit more about a general concept and then show you some ways that we do use it in practice, show you some video of that. But this may be more of a concept based, a little bit of a philosophy thing. In practice free throws. I think there's 3 ways you can be really effective working on free throws. And I think you have to do all 3 of them. I think it's a combination of them, and I think it's a variety of the things that yield the best free throw percentages in games. We've had great free throw shooters, but we've also had some years we did not, and we were able to increase our percentages in games with some of the things that we worked on during practice. So within practice, some things I think you ought to take a look at. First and foremost, I go into lots of high school gyms, and I know that I did this when I was younger, even with our college teams. During a live scrimmage, I might be reluctant to stop the drill to shoot a free throw. I might just say, I'll count it or I'll move on. But I think you should stop within the framework of a normal practice and literally shoot those free throws. It's worth the time. If you don't do it, then don't be mad at your players in games when they miss free throws. But work on them in practice. In a scrimmage situation, somebody gets fouled or there's a bonus situation, stop, take the time to shoot those free throws, put them in those situations in practice so that it feels more comfortable in games. A couple things we will do to save a little bit of time. We'll shoot 1 free throw for 2 points. Or if they got fouled on a 3, we'll say 1 shot for the 3 full points. Also adds a little bit extra pressure to it when you do that. So make sure you're doing them during your practice. Second, the typical before-after practice. I know a lot of coaches say you got to make 20 free throws before you leave. You got to make the X number. I think that's a good idea. Before practice, on their own, coming in after hours, whatever. But some things you can do to be creative in that. One thing I will like to do in the middle of the year when we kind of hit a lull, I'm not a great shooter, but I can still make free throws. I'm certainly not in shape to play one-on-one with these guys, but I'll step to the foul line during a break in practice, and I'll say, okay, this is the number today. How many ever I make in a row is how many you have to make in a row before you leave the gym. And they'll do everything they can do to distract me. Some days that's a very low number. Some days it gets pretty high. So anything you can do as a coach to encourage them to before practice, after practice, on their own, whenever the time comes. We had a free throw ladder. We shoot 25 free throws and have them turn their scores in, and we create a ladder that allows them to challenge each other. If you need some more information on that, email me. I can send you a mail out on that. We've had free throw ladders in the past. Anything you can do to stimulate competition. Then the last thing I talk about is at halftime of our practices. So this is something I think that we've, over the last 6 or 7 years, gotten really comfortable at doing. If you look at our practice schedule, there's going to be a break. Sometimes it's halfway through practice, sometimes it's not. Maybe it's when we're going to change concepts. Maybe we're going from worried about us to worried about an opponent. Sometimes we may be switching gyms. We may be going from our practice gym to the main floor or vice versa. But if there's a natural break in there where there's getting ready to be a halftime, put that into your practice and shoot some free throws there. It's also a great time to get a water break. So here's a couple of ways that we do it. I'll show you some videos here. We call this one string free throws. You can see us getting ready here explaining the kids are in sprint mode. I love the fact you see what they did there. They knew what was coming, and you can see them start to get in a little bit of sprint mode to get to a goal, and then when we say go, that's a great sign for me, a team that's energized, ready to go. So what they're doing is they're splitting off to a goal, and they're going to make strings, as many free throws in a row as they can. We utilize all our goals. If you have more players than you do goals, we always make them report back to half court. But what they're going to be doing, you see Coach Todd here and various people with pens and pads out. What we're looking for is long strings. You can either do them individually or you can do them as a duo or 3 people together. But what we're doing is we're trying to get strings. And when they reach a certain number, we will say, all right, somebody made 2 in a row. They get the number 2 Christmas ornament. This would be the 3 ball, and we'll write their initials on it. 3, let's say that was Coach Neighbors and Jalen Mason. You don't want the low-hanging ones. You want to get up here at the top. We have, I think, 51 is our record as a group of 2, and our all-time record any place is 144 as an individual. That was set by Kelsey Plum and at Washington. But just finding things. We did stair steps one time. Anything you can do to get them focused on trying to make a large number in a row. You see, this is Bailey and Mal. We're doing string free throws as a team, so they are shooting 2 free throws and rotating today. They're probably on a pretty good string here because they've been down here for a while, and I just jinxed Bailey. So that group would have to rotate. Bailey missed. She goes out. Here comes Jalen in to shoot with Mal. If you keep making it, let's see how many this group gets. Let's follow this team. So Mal's made her first. Mal makes her second. We're going to rotate. Bailey's here looking for an empty goal, waiting for somebody to miss. We're up to 3. This could be a pretty good team here. Up to 4. Puts a little pressure on each other. You don't want to let anybody down. Don't want to let your teammate down. If there's an odd number, some days I jump in there as an extra shooter. Players don't usually want to be on my team, but that's okay. This group's up to 6. If you're doing the Christmas balls or a ladder or stairs, whatever you do, if a team gets to a certain number and that number is already taken, go down to the next ladder or go down to the next numbered Christmas ball and let them take that. So you're always wanting to get those high numbered balls. Mal missed. I love that reaction. When you look around and you're in drills and you see a player visibly upset at missing a shot or letting a teammate down, you know that you've got a drill that there's putting some game type situations on it. Another way we like to shoot them, I say beat and then a line. So beat an opponent, our upcoming opponent, our next one, whoever that might be. Maybe it's Tennessee, maybe it's Florida, maybe it's Texas A&M, whoever knows. So we're on both ends. We're going to shoot 2 free throws and rotate. Each time we make a free throw, home team's going to get 1 point. So you can see Kiara's already shot and made 1, so we're up 1-0. If you miss, opponents get 2 points. So we're trying to keep our opponents, we're going to 100. Obviously, we're trying to keep them at the lowest number that we possibly can. We keep up with the records of this. We'll have a sheet that we keep up with it so they know going into the practice, hey, we're doing beat your opponent free throws. And this is our record number. This is our average. This is kind of what we're shooting for on a daily basis. You'll see there's a lot of standing around, which I'm okay with. This is in the middle of practice. We're trying to get a little bit of a recovery going here. Get a drink when they roll off the end where there's water. I'm okay with that. There's some conversations happening. I'm okay with that as long as it doesn't become distracting. A couple other things we look for. Somebody, every time they cross half court, we want a high five, we want a hug, we want a kid and play, kick your shoes together, whatever you want it to be. But if you switch ends from this end to this end and you miss an opportunity to touch a teammate, these guys know what's coming. There's going to be a whistle for me. We're going to get on this sideline right here and we're going to put a minute on the clock and we're going to run 17s until somebody makes it or somebody throws up. That's the way we do it. And you have to do that exactly once every 4 years as a coach. I call them Olympic moments. If you do it once every 4 years, word will spread all the way from the seniors to the freshmen, and it will not happen again. It'll happen one time, I can assure you, then it'll take care of itself. We're not off to a great start here. 17-16, that means we've made 18 shots and we've missed 9 at this point. So we're barely at 50%. That number's got to get better. As you'll see when we start going, I'm going to go into fast forward mode here and get as the score gets a little bit higher. We're constantly keeping up with the total, calling out scores. Hey, we're at halftime. We're down 4. We're up 4. You got to go a little bit. We need some long strings to go. Because when we get to 85, the home team gets to 85, the opponent's miss number goes up to 3 per miss. Then when we get to 95, it goes up to 5 per miss. Just yesterday in practice, we had a commanding lead. It was like 95-54. And we were getting ready to break a team record, an Arkansas record for the margin of defeat against our opponent. And I think we missed 4 straight free throws at 5 points, and that thing got caught up in a hurry, and we end up winning 100-98. So you add difficulty as we get going. This takes about 10 minutes. That clock should have been running. I know it seems like a lot of practice time, but it is very valuable practice time. You get moments like this here too. You get a player stop, have a conversation with you as a coach. Don't get off the floor. Don't leave the floor at this time. This is a great time as a coach to have small individual conversations. I hate bringing players to my office. I don't want them to feel like it's the principal's office. I do lots of meetings right out here at half court. So again, we take this thing to 100. We keep up with records on beat the opponent free throw. The more times you beat your opponents in practice, that's the more times you're going to increase your wins in games as well. So we're here now back with beat the opponent free throws, and we're on game point almost. We got 2 people up to shoot. This is going to be a new team record, 47. Our record was 54. So we've got to get at least 1 make. We could accept 1 miss and still go to 52 and break our record. But we've got a freshman, or a sophomore now, Macy on the free throw line. Looks like Lex coming to the free throw line here. We need 2 makes. You got some anticipation. We get a make, and we get a make, and we get pretty good celebration here for the middle of practice. Everybody's excited. Usually means something good happens at the end of our practice, but more importantly, we got the win. So, yeah, IT even doing some cheerleader moves. So, one good way we do it. This is a great game day one. You can tell the gym's set up for a game atmosphere. We call this Swish free throws. You go to the free throw line. We'll start this in. You go to the free throw line. You get to shoot 2 shots. If you make both, we get a team win. Okay? Win if you make 2. Make 1, miss 1, it's nothing. It's like a tie. If you miss both, it counts as a loss against our total score. So 2 makes is a win, 1 make is a tie, nothing goes on the scoreboard, 2 misses equals a loss. We would take a win total off. So what we chart is win totals within 10 minutes. We shoot this drill for 10 minutes. The other caveat of this and why it's called Swish free throws, even your great free throw shooters need to narrow their focus sometimes. You know, we've got a couple of 90% free throw shooters that I really even want to narrow their focus even more. So if they swish it, what Paul Eels, the late great Paul Eels used to say when I would listen to Razorback basketball was, Alvin Robertson's at the foul line, he eyes it, he skies it, no rim, no board, just cord. That's what we're looking for in a swish. No rim, no board, all cord. So if they get 2 of those in a row, a true swish free throw, we yell swish win, and they yell it. They want to make sure we know it. And that counts as takes a loss off of our category, adds a win, so the next time we have a loss, it doesn't count against us. You want to keep a running total. Our record at Arkansas so far is 66 within 10 minutes. The record any place I've ever been is 88. So to do that, you can't have many losses and you need lots of swish wins. So find ways to integrate things in practice. If you have a way that you have found very effective in practice, please email us. Give us a text, give us a call. We're always looking for ways to improve what we're doing. And I know that there's great ideas out there that we don't know about. So if we've helped you in any shape, form, or fashion with any of these videos and you've got something that can help us out, we're asking for your help as well. So email us at coachneighbors@uark.edu. Draw it up on a napkin, screenshot it, send it to us, and we sure would appreciate it. Check us out in a couple more weeks. We've got some great more videos coming up on Kicking It in the Neighborhood.